Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are going to do a bit more trucking, and for that I upgraded my own semi. Not only does it look a bit better than before, it also now has a much more powerful engine. I think compared to the base version, we should be twice as strong as before. I switched out the engine for the one in the CUDA, so that gives us a grand total of 440 horsepower compared to the standard 260 or something. And it also has a turbocharger, increasing the horsepower by a lot more as well. Ultimately, I would like to get the engine from um, this truck right here. Still gonna take a while because in order to even unlock that, I need trucking level 100, where this engine was really just trucking level 50. So we have quite a ways to go, and today is gonna be a few more steps in that direction. And at some point I would also like to just buy a few more semi-trucks as well. Definitely getting this one here. This is kind of a new hotness. It's the latest one that has been added to the game a few months ago. And also I think this one is just one of my favorites. I just love the look of it. It's a nice one. I have a few fun ideas on how to customize it, so I'll be getting it, I don't know, maybe before that other one. I'll have to see. Maybe I'll try out the new one first and then go back to this one. But yeah, ultimately I think the thing that this is gonna become in the long run is just gonna be a racing truck. It's quite fun around the tracks, and we'll have to see how well it works out. Maybe it might be good for an event, but well, playing that with other people would mean that they also have to invest quite a serious amount of time and money. Anyways, today is gonna be about liquid cargo. So I just put the tanker trailer to my semi, and we are gonna get going here and see what we can do with that one. Also, I want to quickly point out, in a few episodes we're likely gonna do a bit more tow trucking, and I just took a bit of money to upgrade this one as well, so it's pretty tricked out right now. I just wanted to show it off because I love the design I could come up with for it. I didn't have an idea for the longest time, but then I just thought, hey, why not try to replicate the color from the little stripes that it already has. Those are not able to be changed or removed or anything. So I just went with the flow, got something that pretty much matches the color, and added a few more details around the truck. So yeah, I think this is looking pretty nice. Gonna have to see what it can do in few more episodes, I guess. But today, again, it's gonna be about just pulling the tanker trailer around. So let's get it loaded over here, and then we'll go over to... I have an idea for something fun that I want to do here with it. So let's load up. We want to go to the west end of Lijo Island. So either to the pumpkin farm here or just to Sing Chang in general, but this one is giving us a bit more money. So let's load up this stuff. I think it's gonna give us a bit more for the same direction now. I don't know why it only starts with 10 units. Once we have them loaded up, it's just gonna give us more, and now the entire thing is full, which is nice. As long as it's the same exact fuel type, we can also just load up to different locations as well. The game doesn't really care too much if we mix that both up, as long as, I mean, there isn't really any mixing, it's just more of the same. And it would just mean that one place is gonna accept the amount of fuel that we have for that, while the rest would be going to the other one. Of course, it doesn't work if you want to load up half of the tanker with fuel and the other half with milk or something. But yeah, milk transportation will also be a topic of today. We're gonna get to that in a moment. And let me just point out one of the issues that I have with the semi here. First up, it's getting pushed around way too much by the trailer. So I think it's not really working out too well for the heavy loads, and this is one of the heaviest that we can have, I think. Also, just look at how much the rear suspension is suffering here. I already got harder springs. I even tried out 500% springs, which are the hardest ones in the game right now. Doesn't really stop this from happening, so I think I went back down to 300%. And yeah, that's not gonna work out too well. Overall, this is still a nice performing semi, just because it's also very light compared to the others. But in the end, I think getting a bigger one would be quite advantageous. Also, this one has a tendency to fall over if you are not careful with it. Ask me how I know. And I think the other ones, they are a bit wider and therefore should be giving a bit more resistance to that. Also, it might be a good idea to just try and buy one of the trailers, although those are very, very expensive. But then we can maybe do a bit more with suspension setup on them, make them a bit lower, a bit harder suspension so they don't just lean that much anymore, which I think is also a contributing factor to them possibly falling over. Oh god. I'm very scared trying to turn the vehicle now. If I pull the steering wheel by too much, we will be on our side in no time. Oh god. This right now may look fine to you, but knowing where the tipping point is for the trailer here, it's all a bit iffy what I'm doing here. So yeah, a stronger, larger semi will definitely be in order soon enough. I think it'd be really the best idea to just go with Golema first. So that's the largest one, the Peterbilt lookalike. After all, that already should be coming with the strongest engine installed, which I right now cannot buy on its own because it has a higher level. I think it makes more sense that the truck with that engine unlocks before you get that engine on its own, because at that point you can basically upgrade every other truck to be on par with that. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Hello there. I kinda messed up a little. Okay, roadside services to the next road, and oh, it turned me around. That's not amazing. Okay, let's just shift down here. When it comes to how fast we are going with that thing, oh, that guy is doing some sweet drifts there. I don't think too much should be changing with a different semi. I heard that the late game one, the Peterbilt lookalike, has a bit less drag. So that might be a reason why it would be going faster, but in terms of power, in the end they can all be the same, and once again, this one is pretty upgraded right now. Still struggling with heavier loads. So ultimately for actual trucking, I cannot really recommend this too much. It should be alright for the slower stuff, or not the slower one, the lighter ones, like single container deliveries and that kind of stuff. But for everything else, I would really like to have a better one. Okay, I hope I can just bring it over to the delivery point without any further issues or incidents. It just happens way too fast. Also, maybe I should then refuel the entire thing here. We're not really running low on anything. We have quite a bit of capacity, but don't want to I don't want to try it out. Don't want to challenge my luck here. Oh, and that's one of my buses. I also bought that one in between episodes. So I think there's still one more to go in terms of getting higher level ones, but the last one will be the Greyhound, and I don't know if it's a good idea letting the AI drive around with it. It can get stuck with it quite significantly. So on my other character I usually had like, I think, 3 of those coaches that we just saw. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, break. And yeah, so 3 of the coaches and then 2 of those city buses. City buses for the 2 city lines that are already established, and the coaches for things that were more like intercity. And for myself, I bought one of the Greyhound lookalikes, just so that I can make a bit more money myself. It has a higher comfort rating, and also much more space in it. Okay, here we are at the pumpkin farm. Just gonna bring it home without any incidents. I could also try driving this in first person at some point. Maybe not right now, because coming up we have yeah, a bit of a task where I need to reverse into. And that's not gonna happen in first person. Okay, and that should be quite a bit of money. So if you are wondering how I could afford the new bus and also the new engine and the upgrades to our vehicle there, the tow truck I mean, I took a loan, full 100k, 5-hour duration, and I basically tried avoiding going bankrupt there. Like, it was quite brutal. It was over 3k every 10 minutes, but I managed to pull through. It was working out quite nice, but at some point it just felt like I was speedrunning bankruptcy here. Thankfully that didn't happen. I don't know if you could even really go bankrupt. It could just mean that you are in the minus by quite a margin and then won't be able to buy anything new for at least the foreseeable time. Okay, let's go over to the left here. I think that's the way I want to go here. I'm not entirely sure. I know I know the destination I'm looking forward to, but I'm currently not entirely sure about the best way to get there. So this will potentially be a bit of a detour, but I think this should be the right way. And yeah, with God. Ooh, that would have tipped over if it was loaded. Didn't have the mass to pull it off and pull me off my wheel, so that's good. But yeah, I think maybe I don't want to spend all the money on the tanker trailer right now, but I think it would really help in the long run if I could do at least a few things to the suspension. And yeah, the jobs right now are pretty lucrative. I still made the suggestion that maybe we could get another 2-axle tanker trailer with the old capacity. I think that would be a bit more easy to handle, at least as an entry level thing there. For the late game and especially going down to the refinery, this one is obviously the one to pick. Just gotta be very careful with it. Also about that refinery, we just did a fuel delivery, so the stuff that I talked about in the video where I went through everything regarding the update, yeah, I got a few things slightly wrong. It's a bit tough figuring out the actual connections here and the supply chains, because you basically need to find the thing that's supplying something else, and then you will see where it delivers to. And I was more focused on the refinery and didn't check the harbor, so that's how that came about. And actually the crude oil is something that's being dug up closer to the refinery itself. So while you could theoretically make a trip back up north here with the fuel from the refinery loaded, going down there, doing the resupply runs, that's a bit of a different story than what I made it out to be. Still, going down there to begin with is quite challenging and also pretty fun, and oh god, it's not going well. It just also takes quite a bit of time. I also want to make a video showing off, yeah, just really going down there with a tanker car and doing the delivery over there to the refinery, but I think I'll wait until I at least have a better semi truck for that. Maybe also get the tanker trailer first. Okay, and here we have the milk that goes over to the cheese factory. I hope we'll get something like this, I don't know, milk packing plant or something in the future. That would be nice. So just another destination for the milk. And then maybe another sub-supply chain where we bring the packed milk cartons to the supermarket or just to some residents directly. But that's hopefully in the future for the game. Right now there are so many different ways to expand into. I'm not gonna be mad about any particular route not being taken right now. Also, I don't know why we are bouncing so much up in the front. Okay, let's go up here. I don't know if something changed about how physics handle the kind of loads here, but I remember having much more trouble going up here with one of the other engines. So that's gonna be interesting once I get one of 3-axle trucks again. It should be better than this one, but right now, from what I remember, this one is outperforming whatever I was using at the time back then. I could of course also just go back onto my main character and do a bit more delivering. Could also help me get out of the red in that account, but I don't really care about that anymore. The other one was fun for quite a while, but I kind of fell off with it. It's, yeah. It's a pretty old one, and at some point I just thought it would be more fun doing the early game stuff again and just building things up. At some point I basically had all the essentials done on the other one, and at that point it was more about yeah, just building up different cars for racing and that kind of stuff. Also pretty fun on its own, but you know what? The silliest reason on why I stopped playing on the other character, I had too many cars that in the end just really cluttered the list of my yeah, of the different parking lots. Whenever I wanted to summon something in, I just couldn't really find what I was looking for anymore, and that really degraded my fun with that. I mean, if I want a semi, I know that I have like 2 or 3 at the 2 or 3 of those on that character. Maybe I even had all of the 4 ones before we got the new Peter build. But yeah, everything else, if it was just I need to go on a trip, I don't know which car to use, I was really overwhelmed by how many options I had. So I don't know how I'm gonna do anything different here when it comes to that point. But I already made a suggestion that if they were to take it and implement it in the game would really help out here. I think part of my problem is that maybe I should just activate the jailbreak here. Which is basically engine braking for diesel engines, which usually don't have that, but it can be implemented. Yeah, my suggestion was that at have a parking lot where you can summon in the different cars. You should be able to make your own categories to sort them. Right now, when you go in there the first time, it's pretty much just all of them available, or all of them in the first list, and then the other lists are whatever else. I think the second one is actually cards, which is really helpful if you don't have a card to begin with. So my idea would be that there should be a way in this game to just make your own categories, delete the ones that were there by default apart from the all category, and then just sort the vehicles into whatever you want, just to make everything a bit easier to grasp. So if I want to have like a muscle car category, I can make that. I can put that as my second category. I can also put it somewhere in the back. Maybe I could have a taxi category or whatever I want. And that's how I would be dealing with all of that. So theoretically, once I upgrade this one and use a different semi-truck for all the trucking jobs, I could have a racing category and put this one in there. Sorted. But yeah, I don't think that idea ever got too many upvotes, but I think it's just one of those things that would really help out with certain things while not being fancy enough to really attract a lot of attraction. Yeah, attract attraction, it's yeah. It's not an attractive feedback thing, it's not an idea that's gonna get people wanting it because it doesn't really have much of a gameplay. But I think it's just one of those quality of life features that would really help out a bit. Anyways, yeah, so much about that topic. Another thing I wanted to talk about today, and I think we can get into that rather quickly here. What the hell? Let's ignore that. I should also go for refueling at some point. We are running low on that after all. And that's for me right now. Two of my main games that I'm playing, that I'm also making videos on, are Railroads Online and Motortown. And it's kind of funny how that all works out. I think objectively Motortown is the better game, especially with how it's working right now. Oh god. And I don't know if I mentioned it in the past, but I truly believe that this game will go places if just the dev team has enough time to get there. They have a good vision, they put out very good updates, the improvements on the game are pretty much constant. While with Railroads Online there's often a lot of things that break with every update, and even the intended changes are sometimes all over the place. I recently noticed that they did some rework of how different cargo types pay out, and yeah, there are just so many things that are now worse than what they used to be. I don't think that was a good idea to update at all. There were a few things that could have been improved, but on those they kind of went the other direction as well, so I don't know. Overall, when it comes to Motortown, I just have more confidence in what the team is going to put out. Oh god. Oh, also I'm overheating here. Yeah, just the thing is that overall, when it comes to the things that you can do in the game, while this one has a lot more options with different activities and all of that, all the different vehicles that also themselves handle very differently and have a lot more things to offer than the different engines and Railroads Online. They are all essentially the same for how they play out. Of course, some are faster, some are a bit more powerful, other are less so, and that's also a significant difference, but compared to this one, there is far less variety. But I'm just vibing more with the whole idea of making my own railway network. I think that's something pretty unique, and I wouldn't even want anything like that in this game, to be honest. I think it would be very boring if you had to lay out your own roads before you could do anything else in here. Let's go to the gas station first. But yeah, I think the level of freedom that you have to do in the world is pretty unique in Railroads Online. It has some restrictions to be realistic, but there's also a lot of things that you can do with just all the track laying. So it's not the level of freedom that something like Minecraft gives you, where you can completely change the world. You have to deal with a set few restrictions in the world, which is kind of fun. But then what you do with that in terms of track laying also gives you a lot of freedoms. So I think that's a really interesting balance, and that I'm just really vibing with to a large degree. Where in this game, while it is definitely a lot of fun, it's again objectively the better one, I would say. It just doesn't have that, and that's something that yeah, I don't know. It's something that I enjoy about the other one. I don't want to say that this game should have anything like that, because I don't see how that could even work to begin with. It just comes with a different genre and territory. But yeah, at this point, with how many things are right now not really working in Railroads Online, I'm kind of more going towards this one right here. Okay, just gonna try and turn around. And then we are going to deliver the milk. I think I should have maybe pointed out a bit sooner that we now just started by loading loading fuel into this trailer, then dumped out all the fuel, hopefully without any residue, and then filled up the entire thing with milk for food production. Nothing that can go wrong there. I mean, I don't really care about the efficacies of what I'm doing here. I'm just happy that I got a good paycheck out of it. So I guess that's capitalism for you. I mean, in the end, it's very efficient, because both the pumpkin farm that needed the fuel and the dairy ranch for the milk were pretty close by, and so are the point where I deliver the milk to, and also the one where I need to collect the fuel from. So this is a very good connection to just keep on doing without really ever running empties for too long. Also, the milk delivery is part of a larger supply chain. The next thing that we could do would be delivering a few containers to the meat farm. Meat factory. Oh god, completely going off the road here, trying to at least not roll it again. And, well, once we have both the meat and the milk, then we can actually, or the cheese, once all of that is produced, we can bring both of that to some of the fast food restaurants, and then deliver premium pizzas and that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool, and something I'm looking forward to. That one especially pays out quite well. But right now I don't think we are necessarily strapped for money. And we are also getting close to at least level 90 in trucking here. Which should also give you guys a good idea on how much I was doing off screen before. So we're definitely getting along, and you know that blue and white truck over there? I think, or when I mean, I was kind of looking for that word. Yeah, that van is something that I'll also likely buy soon enough. I think that would be a really good thing for medium-sized deliveries, and it would also help out with military crates if I want to go back down that route again. But yeah, for now let's return to the harbor and then also drop off the tanker trailer, which I could have done in any other place as well. Of course, despite it being empty, I just had to roll it again. There was no way around that. Yeah. Someday I learn, but apparently it's not today. But yeah, I guess the order from now on is just work on to continue and continue working on my bank account and eventually getting a bit more heavy duty stuff here. This semi is really just the bridge between medium duty and heavy duty. It's not really good enough for the real heavy stuff, but we'll get there someday. So anyways, that's gonna be it for my end here. Thanks for watching. I'm an idiot. So yeah, till next time. Thanks for watching, I hope it was at least enjoyable. Don't ever expect any pro level moves from my end. Apart from maybe if tipping your truck over becomes an Olympic sport, I don't know. If there's ever a competitive level for truck tipping, then I'll be right on it. Or laying right next to it, who knows. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Goodbye.